I want you to ask yourself a question. Is your phone good for you? What's your immediate answer? It's probably no. And if you're watching a video like this, it's probably quite a firm no. Isn't it funny how we intuitively have a sense of what is and isn't good for us? And that's not to say that smartphones are all bad. There are benefits to having a supercomputer in your back pocket. But are those benefits worth the cost? Because we feel the cost every day. We feel it when we wake up and get immediately sucked into a screen. We feel it when we're just Googling for something and then we're suddenly on social media for 30 minutes. We feel it when we're going to go to bed, but we can't really deal with whatever's going on in our mind, so we just watch YouTube videos until we pass out. None of those things feel good. Smartphones have undoubtedly had a tremendous impact on our society, but there has also been a price for us to pay. In this video, I'm going to look at why using our phones hurts us. I'm going to show why some of the main reasons why we use our phones are actually rubbish. And then I'm going to give you some little pieces of advice to take that first step to try and break away from your phone. So let's get into it. I want to start by clarifying my position. I am not a Luddite. I don't want to go back to the time before smartphones existed when children skipped through fields and went up chimneys. We can't go back. Technology will always keep moving forwards, and there's nothing we can do about that. So the question isn't, how can we re-establish a pre-technology society? It's, how do we cope with the fact that technology now exists? So this isn't a video bashing smartphones, although there will be some of that. This is a video on how you can integrate your phone in a healthy way into your life. Modern life is unavoidably dependent on technology, and it's up to us to determine how we engage with it in healthy ways that are good for our mental and physical health. I'm making this video because I'm addicted to my phone, and I'm sick of it. I hate how, when I'm doing basically anything, I'll have a YouTube video going on in the background. If I'm commuting, cooking, cleaning, brushing my teeth, I'll always have something just playing in the background to distract me from the chatter of my mind. And I just can't take it anymore. When I use my phone, when I distract myself with my phone, I feel awful. I feel empty. I feel like I'm wasting my time. I feel exhausted. I've got no mental energy. And I feel kind of icky because whatever I'm putting into myself, like content-wise, it's just not good. For me, the cost of using my phone has gotten too high. And so, for the past week, I have put some very strong boundaries in place around using my phone. And what I've discovered is that the majority of reasons why we think we need our phones are bullshit. There are three main reasons why we use our phones: for communication, entertainment, and education. I'm going to show you how you can fulfill these areas with very minimal usage of your phone so that you can really maintain a much healthier life without being dependent on your smartphone. I'll start with communication because it's the most obvious topic. And by communication, I mean texts, calls, Zoom, FaceTime, maybe parents monitoring their children's location and children being able to reach out to their parents, or even, posting snapshots of your life on social media and having a little browse of what everybody else is up to. There's an important distinction here that we need to make between communication and connection. I have no problem with using phones to communicate. I think it's a good thing that we can contact people pretty easily, that parents can contact their children pretty easily, and that I can video call my grandmother if I live in a foreign country or am stuck in my house during a lockdown. In these ways, our phones do deliver on that promise that they make communication easier. But let's be really honest. How much of your time do you spend on your phone just for communication reasons? Very little, right? And this is where it gets a little bit insidious, because phones don't just promise communication, they offer connection, and they fail miserably to deliver on that promise. Calling your mum does make you feel connected, but it's not the same as seeing her in person. Texting your friends does make you feel connected, but it's not the same as just hanging out. Going on social media to see perfectly tailored highlights of your mutual friends' lives doesn't make you feel connected, and it often makes you feel worse. Phones have replaced genuine human connection by making communication more easy and convenient than ever before. But this has come at the cost of superficiality. It's one thing to call or to text a friend, and it's another to sit in the same room as them and to have to deal with those little awkward and uncomfortable social moments together. But going through those moments is what really builds connection, because it's real. We are more connected than ever in society. We can communicate with people much more easily than ever before. And yet we are more lonely and more isolated. And I think we're having a more difficult time just coping with life because we've built a society around people staying at home and communicating via screens. We're human beings. We have evolved for hundreds of thousands of years to depend on having in-person human connection to keep us safe and well. And no amount of technology can replace that. No amount of technology can replace that authentic human connection. But phones don't just put a technological barrier between our communication. They actually, in my opinion, intentionally get in the way of us connecting with each other. And they do this by offering distraction. Distraction, or if I put it nicely, entertainment, is the second main reason why we're so addicted to our phones. I'm talking YouTube, podcasts, gaming, shopping. You could put social media in that as well. And there's nothing wrong with switching your brain off and relaxing. Rest, relaxation, being a bit brain dead for a while serves its place in life. However, we don't use our phones for relaxing entertainment. We use them for distraction. Because how actually relaxing is it to watch a YouTube video on a train? How calm do you feel after having scrolled on social media? How at peace do you feel when you have a podcast on and then you're cooking and you're cleaning and then you go and brush your teeth and you've just had something continuously on in the background talking at you for the 3 hours that you've been at home until you decide to go to bed? How rested do you feel after having done that? Sure, it's mildly pleasurable and it distracts us from the turmoil of our minds, but you don't feel good. And you don't feel good because you're not present. You're distracting yourself from your present moment thoughts and feelings. And if you don't pay attention to what you're thinking and feeling, then that kind of builds up over time and it becomes like water being held back by a dam. And eventually it gets too much. The dam breaks. All of your suppressed thoughts and feelings come out in one big go, and you feel extra awful. And there's no escaping that. Phones take away the one place that we can truly find happiness, the present moment. True happiness is learning to do something and just be content doing it and feeling every part of the process of you doing it. Now, in our busy modern lives, it isn't practical to always be so mindful when you're doing everything. But that doesn't mean that it's useful or healthy to constantly have a distraction running whilst you're doing it. And if efficiency and speed are your most important things, I don't know about you, but I'm a lot slower doing things if I have something chattering on in the background than if I'm just zoned in focus on and doing it. It's a similar story for using your phone for the third main reason, educational purposes. Yes, there are useful ways that you can educate yourself using your phone. You can Google the answer to questions, you can listen to podcasts, you can watch very educational YouTube videos, you can use Google Maps to find the location to somewhere. But let's be really honest here again. How much of this educational work that you're doing on your phone is actually educational, and how much of it is just distraction? There are a million and one ways that you can educate yourself on something that don't have to do with your phone. And if you really care about learning, go and do those. And if you find that your motivation disappears, well, ask yourself, was I doing it to learn the thing, or was I just doing it to distract myself? So if we're looking for connection, but actually we get a lot of distraction from our phones, what can we do? Well, the answer is quite simple. Stop using your phone, or at least use it a lot less. And there's two parts to this. The first is putting your phone away and switching it off, and the second is filling that time with something else. To get used to leaving your phone away, because it feels kind of anxious. I don't know about you, but I feel really anxious actually leaving my phone in another room. What if someone needs me? What if someone messages me? You do not need to be available 24/7. If you do, you already know that. And if you haven't been told that, then you don't need to be. You can put your phone away, switch it off even, and just leave it in another room. And one of the best things to do is to download an app that locks you out of your phone after a certain time. I've done this, and it has just made bedtime so much easier because I can't go into the bathroom and play a YouTube video and spend half an hour doing something that takes me 10 minutes and then walk to bed watching my phone. I can't do that anymore. And it is amazing how much that has improved my life and improved my sleep schedule. Then concurrently, you need to fill the second part, which is filling that time that you would have spent on your phone with something else. Otherwise, you basically just have this gnawing feeling of, oh, I should be on my phone, I should be doing something, and then you'll cave in and go and do it. And this is the fun part, because you get to come up with all sorts of wonderful ways to spend your time. Go for a walk, go work out, speak to your partner, read a book, journal, watch Netflix. Like, if you're really that bored, brainstorm a bunch of ideas for what you could possibly do with your time. And the real benefit here is that the simple act of detaching yourself from your phone will create so much more space inside of you for you to feel and process all of your thoughts and emotions. And the knock-on effect of that is that you're going to feel better because you're not walking around with all this pent-up stuff that you haven't processed. Putting really strong boundaries around my phone usage has dramatically improved my life in a very short amount of time. I'm more focused at work, I go to bed earlier, and I just look back on my day, and rather than looking at the 3 or 4 hours of YouTube that I watched, I see, oh, look, I read that book and I did some journaling and I worked out. And I just feel more connected to myself and more connected to the world around me because I'm not constantly living in this distraction anymore. And you can break free from your phone too. And you can start today just by choosing yourself over distraction. So that's my video on if your smartphone is really ruining your life. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit like and subscribe for more content like this. Leave a comment below for how you struggle with your phone or how you've overcome smartphone addiction. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.